Hello, magical souls. How are you doing? So I just pulled a card for my Telegram group, and every Monday I pull a card message, and I kind of deliver like a channeled, partially chit chat, channeled audio message. And the card that I pulled prompted this message that I want to share with you now. It's a powerful one, and it's this: it's you have been training for this for lifetimes. So as I say that, check in and see how that feels to you, because what is often coming up when I'm channeling or even thinking, writing, expressing, this is a phrase I kind of come out with a lot. I find myself saying it, and it was funny just to pull this card that literally said the same thing. And it's also something that I've been noticing when I'm working, when I'm usually doing like a deeper level work with someone, and we're tapping maybe into some past lives even. And it's this, you've been training for this for lifetime. So this is a message for you. If you are receiving these words, I always say this, but there's a reason. You're not just receiving this like message, you're not just tuning into my message for no reason. So this is to land on your heart and soul right now, that you've been training for this for lifetime. So what that means is, you who is aware of what you're aware of, you're conscious, you're making certain choices, you're standing your ground with certain things, right? And you're here to shift and expand, and you might even feel this desire to step into something more powerful. Some of you are going to know what that is. Some of you have been doing it for a while. Some of you I know have had more recent yearnings and maybe even more kind of recent activation. So a lot of us are going through this. A lot of you continuing to go through this. But it's a reminder that you've been training for this for lifetimes. We have. So again, it comes back to this conversation that I've been talking a lot more about recently, that we cannot separate ourselves from being in this human body and then trying to pretend or convince ourselves that this is just this one life that we've had, right? I think we're beyond that now. So I want to remind you and check in and see how this feels to you when you receive it. But you've had other lifetimes, right? And what continuously comes up with those people who I end up working with is that you had other lifetimes as, could be healers, leaders, guides, people who did certain things, were involved in communities, were involved in some kind of transition in certain eras of humanity. So we've all had some level of experience, and then think about what we've all chosen to do is come into this current lifetime with all of this craziness happening, as you know, and we are utilizing our experiences from all the lifetimes that we've had before. And I've had this feeling in myself as well. Hello Anne-Louise, it's lovely to see you. So nice to see your name pop up. So we've had these kind of like, I love it when like random names pop, like hello. It throws me off, but it's okay. Yeah, and I've had this this kind of feeling inside of me, and check in how you will feel about this. But I get this feeling of, the more that stuff happens in the world, the harder it gets, the kind of more squeezed people feel. I feel that something clicks inside of me, and I feel very connected to myself, to my body, to my mission, to my purpose, to my direction. And before, I used to even think, oh, maybe that's because I went through a load of trauma and I'm just like traumatized. But I since have realized it can be that reason. I've definitely healed and released a hell of a lot of that, but it's more than that. It's more soul level, right? So I'm sharing this just because it's coming through, but a lot of you are the same. It's like you get that kind of, you don't go quiet, right? In difficult times, you kind of feel yourself come alive. So if this is you, that is a sign that you are made for these times. You are here very deliberately. I'm only saying this as a reminder. I'm not telling you anything you don't already know. I believe that I just facilitate messages, but your soul, you as a soul, already knows this. So sometimes just hearing it will help activate that. So you've been training for this. So when you go into doubt and fear and disbelief and maybe wavering in confidence, it's our role to just keep coming back, keep bringing ourselves back to, even if we don't know how, even if we don't quite know the steps to take, trusting and knowing that you are here and you've been training for this. You've been training for this role that you've been walking now. And a lot more people are going to step into their roles more and more. I know that a lot of people have had activations since 2020. A lot more will be having them. Some of you might be even listening to this message, it could be even 2 years from now. Whenever it needs to land on you, it will land on you. But there is no doubt that this is just a continuation of your previous soul work, and you're going to understand this. So this message, if it completely makes no sense to you whatsoever, then you can release it, that's okay. But this really is a message for those of you who, as you're hearing me say that, there's a recognition and you can feel yourself recognize that. Okay, so my role, part of this, is to remind you to step into that now and to trust what you're getting. So a lot of you is coming through now. A lot of you are being nudged, being guided. It's uncomfortable because you're being kind of pushed out of this familiar place that you've been. It's the way that you've always done things, right? The things you've always chosen, and you're being lovingly nudged, some of you elbowed lovingly out of these old paradigms, out of these old ways of doing and being, and all of that, right? And because it's like your mission is to come in and start stepping it up and doing what you came here to do. And some of you are going to work your way up to that. So I know a lot of people that tune into my messages, some of you are already doing your soul purpose and your mission, and you recognize that, and you're maybe a little further ahead on the path in that way. And some of you are coming to my messages now that you're just starting to wonder, and you're starting to feel this expansion, and you're starting to wonder what else, what is next. So I'm just here to remind you that there is a lot here for you, and this isn't your first time around. So it's amazing, like when I did a few past life regression sessions, and it doesn't really surprise me, because it's these amazing souls that are doing what they're doing now, and it's this repetition of, they did it years before, they did it in previous lifetimes, and yeah, what's really coming through is those of you with a message, and this isn't concerning all of you, but those of you with like maybe a spiritual kind of healing business or some kind of helping others business, it's time to stop doubting yourself now. It's really time to step out of that human persona doubt, which is so natural. But because you've been on this path for a while, this is a message for a few people that will be tuning in, it's now time to step out of that and remember that it's simply what you came here for. So the doubt and the sort of lack of self-belief is irrelevant now. It's irrelevant now. It is time for you to remember who you are. And it's also time for those of you to allow yourself to open your minds, open your hearts, and trust these nudges, trust the synchronistic messages that are happening, totally deliberate. To trust okay, some of you are getting some strange goings on at the moment, trust that. Some of you are some things that were working for you maybe are not working for you in the same way as they were. Routines disrupted, energies are being activated. You are really being nudged now to go inwards more and more. So now is the time, a great time. If you don't have an inner practice, to start bringing one in. If you do have an inner practice, to just strengthen it and don't allow yourself to be distracted off it. Because sometimes we're being distracted off our path, so just to bring ourselves back, but to stay the course. And even if you don't know what your next steps look like, it's about trusting that because you're on path, they will start to reveal themselves. We're in a very different paradigm now, and this is going to shift and change. And over the next few years, we are kind of building up to 2027, which is a huge energetic shift on this planet. So there is a lot more to come. So it's big energy. So you have been training for this for lifetimes. So, oh, hello, Wisteria. No, you're not showing up a little late. I think you meant in the membership, maybe. I had a set time, so the replay's in there. But no, here was just a spontaneous message on my page. So just the last little thing I wanted to share on that note, I just mentioned it. If you would wish to connect with me on a more regular basis, come and join me inside the membership. I've got a private membership club, the Awake Revolution Soul Team. Just go onto my website, theawakerevolution.com, and you'll find everything there. But that's where I'll be focusing a lot more energy, and I'm there every week. Sessions, transmissions, channelings, the whole library stuff full of stuff it's packed. So check that out. And final thing, because I've got a special, just a 48-hour offer on coded clearing. Coded clearing was my live program that I did 3 rounds of, but I've put a lot of the activations, channelings, energies together into this beautiful coded clearing library. Very excited about launching that, but there's a brilliant pre-sale offer on that. So the link, you can find the link in the description of wherever you're watching this live stream replay, and that expires tomorrow, Tuesday. You can still access it after that, but the price will be going up. So it's still amazing value, but it's 58% off right now until Tuesday, the 16th. Okay, so jump in there if that is something you're interested in. But that is it. Yeah, just a quickie little message. You have been training for this for lifetimes. Remember, and trust that you are being guided. There's so much in amidst the chaos, there's so much magic and support as well happening, but this is just to remind you. Sometimes we just need a reminder. Okay, sending you lots of love, and I will see you here. Well, I'll be live streaming probably like 3 times a week. I don't know which days, but I'll be sharing videos and all sorts of things, and all of that good stuff. So I'll thank you, Wisteria. Wonderful and life-changing program. Speaking from personal experience, yes, it was great to have you in the live program as well. So this library is going to be not the sessions, obviously, that we've done because it's more private, but it's the actual clearing transmissions and all of that good juicy stuff, right? So that's going in the not in the membership, in the library, coded clearing library. So I'm excited about that. But yes, that is it for today. So I send you lots of love, and re-listen to this anytime you need that kind of just encouragement, and just to kind of snap yourself back out of any self-doubt, right? Because you're not imagining any of this. Okay, lots of love. Talk to you soon.